Hey guys, Jacob with Jacob Comics. Alright, we have a really fun episode. Today we're going to be reviewing Detective Comics 1063. And they seem to be sticking with this cover theme. I actually kind of like this cover though. There's like the guy there. Uh, and we're going to find out what's going on with that, alright? Now, before we get dived into Detective Comics 1063, I do want to let you guys know about the 500 subscriber giveaway. Now, when we hit 500 subscribers, we'll be giving this book away. It's a Silver Cerberus #1. All you have to do is like the video, comment down below, and when we hit 500 subscribers, we'll be raffling the book off, and somebody will win it based on comments, and I'll put a video up to notify the winner. Alright, guys, let's get dived into Detective Comics 1063. Now, as always, there's a couple things we got to cover before we get completely dived into the issue. First off, I do want to let you guys know we're going to be going heavy into spoilers. So if you don't want to be spoiled for Detective Comics 1063, that's your warning. Next up, we always have to shout out the creative team, because without the creative team, we wouldn't have a comic book, right, guys? So in this first part, we have Ram V as the writer, Raphael Albuquerque as the artist, Dave Stewart is doing colors, and Ariana Maher is doing the letters, and the cover's by Evan Eagle. Alright, guys, so we start the issue, and it's actually Two-Face, and he's got a gold mask over his evil side, so he's like in control of his evil side now. And so he's hanging out at the bar spinning his gold coin, and up comes Bruce, and he says, "Little early to be halfway through a Bombay Dry, isn't it, Harvey Dent?" And Two-Face says, "It's always dark outside in Gotham, Bruce Wayne. We each find our flicker where we can. What grim portents bring the Lord from his manor to this shamble house of all places?" And Bruce says, "Something's changed, Harvey. Something has shifted in the shadows and stillness, and I can't put my finger on it." Dent replies, "We are still talking about the city, right, Bruce?" And Bruce replies, "I used to know this place. I knew where Gotham's shadows lay. I knew where all the monsters nested. But the old lines are being redrawn. I thought you might—" He says, cuts him off. "I am no longer involved in any of it, Bruce. They fixed me. Didn't you hear? Look upon my golden face, Bruce Wayne. I am no longer part of his world. I tasted that change long before any of you did. I was the line that was redrawn. But I am curious to know why you feel this way. What is it you think has changed?" As we go back to Batman kind of on the streets taking care of some criminals, and he's thinking, he's like, "These past nights I have stalked Gotham's shadows like a fog of fear over its quieted streets. The dread reminder that the specter that haunts their skies may choose to descend upon them at any moment. Like the old days, I have asked questions under the threat of pain beyond imagination. I have broken jaws and twisted arms, and strung them up and hung them upside down from the high places. But they will say nothing. I found one who screamed in delirium before running himself off an unfinished bridge. He was already ashes as he touched the ground. The foot soldiers are afraid, and the bosses are all in hiding. It's not my wrath they're running from. It's not the Penguin or Nigma or any of the usual devils. No, there's a power vacuum in Gotham, and someone new is stepping into it. But everywhere I turn, all I hear," as we're back to him at the bar, "it's the echo of your own voice, Bruce. You didn't come here to find out who's making moves on Gotham Underworld. You came here because you had to make sure it wasn't me, didn't you?" says Two-Face. And Bruce replies, "I'm happy you're doing better, Harvey." And he says, Two-Face says, "Bruce, all this disquiet, you ever wonder if it isn't about them as much as it is about you? Gotham is changing. Just how long do you think you can keep up?" Batman says, "Everything changes, Harv. Look at you. You used to own this place." Two-Face replies, I could say the same of you, Wayne. You used to own this city. As we see Bruce kind of looking at this boat that's off, off in the distance. And on this boat is, it says it's the Orgum Royal Sunskipper, a few miles off Gotham shores. And we see kind of these two new bad guys sort of talking about how they used to own Arkham back in the 17 and 1800s, but then they sort of lost it. But now they kind of want to come back and take charge of their former lands. And we see this one guy kind of has a power, and yeah, I'm not quite sure. His face gets some runes on it, and he's definitely got some sort of power. And he's like, "Weak? Who dares us weak? Shavhad, speak!" And she kind of the girl he's talking to, she's taken aback. But an older gentleman comes out and says, come, my boy, you've been awake for much too long, and it's already been an arduous journey. It's time for you to rest," as he takes him back inside. So, still no full reveals on that, but that's what it shows us. And then so back to Batman, and he's thinking, no rest for the wicked. The lights at Blackgate's low security wing burn into the long hours. Getting in is easy. Harvey Bullock's called in old favors. A window left ajar, cameras on the fritz, blind eyes to shifting shadows. All for an audience with the maestro. An impossible melody sounds as I walk in. Arrangements and notes haunting my steps, as if played by inhuman hands, too many fingertips with an otherworldly touch. As Maestro says, I would say I heard you come in, but the doctors tell me my ears are failing with age. Perhaps I felt your wings fling the rain at my window. Batman? And he says, I need your help, Cardine. As he says, and why would I help you? Batman says, I found this in a shipping consignment smuggled into Gotham. Isotope dating puts it around 400 BC. He says, what is it? Batman says, it's a music box that plays a melody unheard and unknown for centuries. If your hearing really is failing with age, this might be your last chance to hear this tune. And I will let you do so if you tell me what you make of it. As he hands it to the maestro, and the maestro kind of reveals that it's hidden with black noise, which he thinks could possibly be used to mind control people. All right, and so then Batman kind of jumps off with that information. He's like, Cardine's words linger, as does his music, heavy bars slung from impossible chords that will not leave my ears. It is the music itself that has me on my knees. Or has there been something within me all this while, now brought to the fore? As we see this guy right here kind of take Batman to his knees. And he says, look now how you cower at the sound of my voice, not of some paltry toy, nor the calloused fingers of some minstrel. No, this music, my eternal growl, was always here, always within the whimpering of that little orphan boy. In your youth, you drowned my call with aspirations of victories and vengeance, boy. But your lines have grown deep and old since. Look around you now, all this endeavor. For what? What have you really changed? Round and round like changing places in the masquerade? No, this place is like me, eternal. Gotham, the home of the Demon King, who wrote my name upon Solomon's key. Barbatos, he scrawled with his broken horn. Do you hear my name now, old man? Barbatos. Now listen, the long sorrows play. Hearken, they come to the overture. Not long now, Bat. Not long now, man. Soon the music will end, and there, lingering, will be the yawning knell of my name. as we end this issue with Batman kind of in that circumstance there, being tormented by this Barbados creature who looks like a crazy bat. And then we go to Two-Face, and so Two-Face actually runs into one of the guys that was introduced in the last episode, who's already in Gotham, and he took out a bunch of the other crime lords, right? And he sprays this. He kind of opens this vial. I'll show you guys. Opens this vial and then blows the vial all over Two-Face, and all the while kind of saying that he says, "But I see you're only of a husk of the man you used to be. No matter. I, Gale Tenclaw, will fill your body with the strength we require of you. Tell me, Harvey Dent, have you knowledge of the Asmer? Ancient beings of wrath and rage that answer to my call. And they will watch your every action, and I will know all that you know, and I will see all that you see. They will follow my every word, and they will make you bend to their will, or they will kill you. Worry not, Harvey Dent. We will make you king of the underworld once again. You will sit upon the throne that was once yours, but you will do so in our name." As we see Harvey laying there, and he goes, "Harvey, Harvey, Harvey, all that time you hid me under that casket of gold. But you need me now, don't you, Harv? You need me because that thing isn't tethered to me, just you. Put me back at the wheel, Harvey. Or do you think we should flip for it?" As we go into the Coda Part 2 of 3, with the writer in this one is Simon Spurrier, and Danny is the artist. And just kind of briefly, there's a lot of wording in this one, so not to take too much time for the issue, I'll kind of cover the main points. So we've got Detective Gordon, or former Detective Gordon, has found this young child, and the young child, he's kind of followed by a bunch of police who try to capture the young child. At the same time, those policemen shoot him with like a dart, knocking him unconscious for 14 hours. He wakes up to find that this child has defeated all of these mercenaries and took all their clothes and his wallet, but left him with his cell phone. He realizes 15 hours have passed and it's time for him to go and pay his respects to his son. So he gets some yellow peonies and goes to the graveyard to pay his respects, where he's actually approached by the boy who asks if he's a spirit. Detective Gordon's like, no. And he says, "I said, are you a spirit, sir? I've been following you. The name on this monument is the very same name as that in your papers." And then, Detective Gordon explains, "No, that's JJ. That's James Jr. He's my son, was my son. Most people say sorry for your loss about now." And they kind of have this conversation where, Gordon's like, I can help you and give you a home, a normal life. And the kid's like normal, and just doesn't even want any part of it. And he ends up, disappearing. And so Detective Gordon's kind of trying to figure all this out, what's going on. He goes to Bullock, the private investigator that gave him this job, if you will, and asks, what more does he know about it? And main thing about that, the guy's kind of like, everybody just wants money, and kind of me too. I'm not going to do any of this. But while the guy's looking away, he ends up copying the information for where Anne Redding, the child's mother, is living. And then he goes and he's spying on her to see what's going on. He's like, oh, the kid actually looks like his mom, and finds as the detective that gave him this case shows up, he's a little confused, and he's like, what's your game, you weasel? And at the same time, he's like, we found your son, come with us. And so she leaves with them, but they actually lock up her house that she came out of, or the shelter that she came out of, and put a notice of demolition. And it says next, a door with no key. So yeah, Detective Comics 1062. If you guys have been watching for a while, you know I wasn't 1062. I was super confused. I didn't know what was going on. This one's like making it a bit more clear as far as those, you know, what the bad guys are doing, what their intentions are, why Batman's having these visions is kind of revealed, in my opinion, in this issue. Not fully revealed, but you know they're giving us enough hints for us to see it. It's you know it's the new bad guys doing, and so I'm kind of interested. I want to see now what Ram V has going on with this. Who and what is this Bat creature Barbados? He's kind of cool. You know, let's see Batman fight him. Yeah, I don't know what's going. I still don't fully know what's going on. Ram V's definitely kind of pacing this out slowly. I sort of get it. It's definitely got some horror vibes, guys. The artwork for me picked up a lot in this issue. Honestly, I definitely enjoyed both the writing and the art in this issue. There wasn't any odd paneling where Batman looked like the Punisher, so you know what I'm saying. I give it a thumbs up. It's a bit darker of a take. You know, they changed up the front cover too to kind of denote when this change happened, and that they're kind of going to steer at least Detective Comics in this direction. And it seems like Batman's going to be a bit more of the superhero-y kind of a Batman comic book, and this is more of like your horror and darker take on it. And so yeah, I mean, guys, if that's what you're looking for, definitely this is the second issue of the run with Ram V and Albuquerque on Detective Comics. It looks like it's going to be a pretty good scare. And yep, that's what we have today. I give Detective Comics 1063 a thumbs up. As always, guys, if you want to help support the channel, check me out on IG, click the link below, shop on my eBay store. I could really use the support. Come hit me up on IG. I'm currently selling a $50 mystery box. We're about halfway to the goal of selling out. Yeah, guys, check out the little promo after this, and we'll see you guys tomorrow, and have a great day. Hey guys, Jacob with Jacob Comics. All right, I'm really happy and excited to share this with the community. So what we have here, what are we looking at? It's my first ever mystery box. It's DC and Marvel only, number ones only. So it's all going to be all number one issues, all DC, all Marvel. They're going to be a guaranteed value of $60 on every single mystery box. There are only 30 boxes total. And all I'm asking, guys, is $50 shipped. So $50 shipped. And I'll guarantee you'll get $60 in value in number one Marvel and DC only. And yep, there's also going to be 5 grand prize winners, and the 5 grand prize winners or mini prize winners are going to get $100 in value mystery prize box. So they're going to be 5 boxes valued at $100, and then there's going to be a grand prize winner, guys, and the grand prize winner is going to win this Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man #1 slab in a 9.8 of the Del Auto Virgin Edition Scorpion Comics limited print. And additionally, not only are you going to get the slab, but you're also going to get a $60 mystery box as well. So you'll get to open up a mystery box full of #1 issues just like everybody else, and you'll get this cool slab. So that's the grand prize winner gets the slab and a $60 value mystery box. And then there's going to be 5 mystery boxes, mini prize winners, valued at $100. And then, yep, only 30 boxes total. So I'm asking for the community's help and support on this one. If you guys could help me out and help me to sell out of the 30 boxes, that'd be super amazing. And yep, these are some of the books that you'll see in the mystery box in the #1 only Jacob Comics first ever exclusive mystery box. All right, guys, and the best way to find out how to purchase them is to get a hold of me on Instagram at Jacob_comic. So it's the same as my YouTube, but without the S on the end. And again, I really appreciate the community's support. and helping me spread the word about this mystery box. I thank you very much in advance. And yep, we'll see you guys tomorrow as always, and have a great day, okay?